Welcome to Gen Z Hoops, the Gen Z basketball, coaching, and sports business show. On this podcast, you'll learn from professional players, coaches, and executives from all over the world and see the court in a brand new way. And now, joining you courtside, your Gen Z host, John Harder-Phillips.
Jalen, my man, what's going on?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me.
Dude, this is going to be fun. I mean, I saw your Instagram page. I saw the kind of content you're putting out there, how you're helping people just throughout this world playing ball. Knew I had to have you on the show. So really excited to have you on and go a little bit deeper and say, who is Coach Jalen? There might be a lot of Coach Jalen's in the world, but you're the one that I'm super excited to have on the show.
Yeah, man. Coach Jalen, right now, coaching at Westlake Prep, post-grad in high school, played at Central State University, transferred there after a year at Emory and Henry College in Palm Beach Atlantic. Played each one, teach one before in my high school days and at Grandview Prep in South Florida, Boca Raton. Born and raised in South Florida. I'm a South Florida kid, Boca Raton, where I stayed at the most. I'm up the street in Boynton Beach. Basketball, I've been in it my whole life. Come from a basketball family. My dad played in Miami of Ohio. My grandpa played at Western Michigan. Both of them big-time players. I wasn't as good as them at all, but, I still love the game. I'm a basketball lifer. And it's been able to translate into coaching now. I'm coaching post-grad in high school, and I'm training I got 3 to 9 year olds. It's great. So I'm literally basketball all day.
Well, so that's the thing, you might not, maybe the playing career didn't go as far as you might have wanted it to, but you're doing things in the community or helping kids or impacting lives in ways that are, I can't even just put them into words, like how impactful that is to just the community and what you're doing. So, but that's what I want to kind of dive into is, well, maybe even a little bit before becoming Coach Jalen, I want to know how, if that is something, if you ever went by your last name or anything like that, where did this start for basketball come from? And how, obviously maybe your father and other people playing in your life, but they were really stuck with you and you said, you know what, if I wake up every day and I'm thinking about hoops, I'm doing all right.
I guess after when I'm playing in college, when I realized I wasn't going to be a pro, I'm but basketball still everything that I did related to basketball, whether it was going to a weight room or helping somebody out in the weight room, training myself, training somebody on the court, eating, because we're eating right, and cooking. So I'm getting the right food. That's a whole process. Literally everything you go about your life is some way tied to basketball. I had a few different jobs, working hotel, restaurant, wasn't for me. Couldn't be. I had to be in the gym. That's was my thing. I was just had to be in the gym. So I realized after college, growing up though, I wish I had the same mentality in the gym, basketball, but living in South Florida, there's just so many things that you can do. And that's why so few make it to the top leagues out of this area, and the ones that do, they're locked in. A guy like Scotty Barnes from Palm Beach, from West Palm. I don't know him, growing up. I just know he's from the area. You see what he's doing. Those guys, they lock in, they make it out. But yeah, growing up, wasn't locked in. But, like you said, came from a basketball family. Everybody was basketball. So it was an easy transition after college, staying in basketball.
I love hearing that because, right, I mean, it's never too late to have that focus realigned and do something really positive with that newfound focus and that newfound love for what you're doing. So it's awesome that you're able to do that now and see the impact that you're having both for your own life and for those around you. So that's incredible. But you're talking about a lot of in terms of what you're doing with Westlake Prep. And I want to dive into that because I don't have a lot of guests on the show from that background, from that level of coaching, that level of playing. If you can maybe give us a deep dive as to how you ended up there, even coaching, but then also what you maybe do there on a day-to-day basis.
When I was in college playing at Central State, my coach would allow me to go home in the spring semester after the season and coach travel ball for my brother's team, Wade Elite. That transpired into me coaching him at his high school because we had a coach, he transferred to Westlake. The coach there the first year, he didn't come back. So then my dad, he had to step in because, he brought in a few of his Wade Elite teammates to the school. So these are our guys that we have brought up 5th grade. They've been in the team together since 5th grade. So we brought all those Wade Elite guys to Westlake. It was all right, I can't just leave them. My dad's coaching, so I'm coaching. But I'm still in school. But I finished, fast forward, I'm just helping them out when I'm there in the summer in my breaks. My dad's really coaching them. Come back when I graduated full time, I'm there. That's when, I was just doing it because I was home. Didn't have a job right away besides training. Wasn't really coaching at Westlake, just coach for them. Then the next year, the school actually hired me to coach full time. A few of those guys went off to school. One, Emmanuel, my brother, went to Oakland. Big fella Wayne went to Howard, transferred to UVI now. Shooter, Steven Salvi playing at Evangel now. I was just watching him earlier. A couple of those guys. A guy named Seven went to St. Thomas, Miami. Jerron, Eastern University in Pennsylvania, I believe. Two of my guys, G and Josh, South Florida, went to Thiel. I believe that's also in Pennsylvania. And then a few of the guys, they didn't make it. They didn't go to college that year. And I was like, dang, I can't just leave them. They went and they still wanted to go. So we started a post-grad program. Didn't know what it was about, really. School, this is into the COVID year now. So the school is not help, they're not funding the program. The basketball's cut, or it's like, you guys got to do it or basketball's cut. So we just, we can't let these guys just not get to the next level because of COVID. So we started the program. That program funded the high school program, kept it up. That whole group that was post-grad, they ended up going off to school. The high school seniors from that year, because mind you, that whole team left. So I had a new high school team and a post-grad team. So most of those high school guys, they didn't make it because those were all first-year guys. So they turned into a post-grad. And that's when I was like, okay, yeah, this is a thing. This is a thing here. The kids need this. I can do this. Might as well make it structured, give it some type of structure. So that whole team right now, 9 out of 12 guys are in college playing somewhere. 2 are back with me for their second year of post-grad, and they're getting looks. NAIA schools, Division I and Division II NAIA schools, developmental teams, but hey, they giving scholarship money, so they'll go. So that whole team would have been off. This would be my first full year operating in it as a business, and I know that this is something to continue to do.
Wow, that is so cool. I'm thinking about how you're kind of recreating and bringing back life into the basketball dreams that might have looked at might have looked like they were about to die, and they're not really there. And you're coming in with your team and with this organization that you're running, and you're bringing them back to life, and you're putting kids in the right situation, the right fit for them. And it looks like from what I'm hearing that these guys are much better off, and they're happy for it, that they're getting to play at that next level or get that scholarship and do what they want to do. So that's incredible that you're doing that. And it's so cool, right? Because right before we got on, you told me how a bunch of them were with you right now, and you guys are playing. I see the Toucan in the background with you guys. Can you talk a little about the family aspect that you guys have? Maybe how you guys all maybe friends off the court too, and are able to spend that quality time together, learn from each other, and have fun doing this thing.
Yeah, you definitely learn a lot from being around these guys, 24/7, and it becomes bigger than basketball. That's quick. It's life here. We just using basketball as a vehicle to navigate through it, and how you go about your basketball is how you go about everything. These guys, they're starting to pick that up, but it's some growing pains. You got their teenagers. They do teenager things. I try to just keep it lighthearted, because I remember when I was that age 10 years ago doing the same stuff. It is definitely a family, but it's like each team sticks together. It's not like everybody is a program yet. I want to bring that gap, but all these guys are out playing places right now, so we don't have time to meet up in one place and be like, oh yeah, I came to Westlake this year. We'll get there soon. But it's definitely like a family environment at the apartments. After workouts, we got up this morning at 6. It was at the beach. It was raining on the way to the beach. So I'm driving in the van, and they're all like praying that it keeps raining. And they're like, wait, why is he just going to drive out to the beach and it's raining? Because I'm like, I know it's Florida. It's not going to be raining 10 minutes down the road. And sure enough, we got to the beach, bone dry, and we had a good workout. They were laughing about it. They was hurt. But, things like that, you'll never forget those moments when you have them around.
Well, that sounds like a really fun time. And you were talking about how this year might be like the first year you're really going like all in on this thing. What is this year going to look like for you guys?
Man, we got a good team. These guys are getting a lot of looks. They're going a lot of places. Yeah, we want to win games, win games. But at the end of the day, it's about getting the kids to the next level where they're going to succeed. I got pretty much a team full of guys that I think they're definitely talented enough to go play at the next level. They just, mature mentally, lock in on a few things before it's, really time to go. And we'll have another good class of guys going all over the place.
This is all a lot of fun, and there's so much that you're doing on the court or off the court that are really progressing these kids' lives, and it's incredible. But one thing that I think is super cool is what you're doing with YNG DNA, right? It seems like this helping people and basketball is in your blood, kind of, right? Like it's in your DNA. Talk to us a little bit about, please, what you're doing there. Because
Young DNA.
It's fun.
It's called Young DNA, not YNG.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
I was reading off
short.
Instagram. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's short for Young. That's with another one of my brothers, Zaire. We started a brand back 2018. we were playing 2K, sitting there talking about it, because this is when I coached Wade Lee. And, we was at the crib, chilling, talking, his dad came in, said that was his nickname. They had a whole conversation. There's a whole video on it on our Instagram page. You'll be able to see it we literally caught the moment of when he was like, yo, why are they calling you Young Flash? Like, that was my name. Like, you something else. And then that's when he said Young DNA. We could do something there. And, Z, he was like, what? I had to show him better than I could tell him. Did it, whoop, had it, showed him a logo. Here we are. 2 years later, just dropped our NFT. And it's like, I think we're one of the first brands that the NFT utility is wearable in the metaverse, which when we dropped it 2 weeks ago or a week ago, people were like, what's the metaverse? And now, that Facebook dropping what the metaverse is, people know. Yeah, Young DNA, it's a clothing brand. We have events. It's not just a clothing brand. We're not just selling clothes. We're doing experiences. It's a vibe when you pull up to a Young DNA event. You've been to one of our photo shoots or been to one of our fundraisers or basketball camps or special clinics, and then as we continue to grow, it'll be more of a household name for sure.
This is really cool. I mean, it ties in perfectly with the whole Gen Z hoops, right? Young person vibe that's what I try to replicate on this show. Even with older guests that are way older, there's still always that youthful energy somewhere, right? And you can always dig it up and find it. For you, it's all over what you're doing. And you were talking about the vibe at some of these events. How do you capture that? How do you make sure that lively Young DNA vibe or right, the way I would put it, a Gen Z vibe is present in everything you're doing?
I mean, it's just being there, being ourselves, being true to who we are. Part of it, that's what a brand is about. Represent, we've done a couple campaigns out here, standing up for his sister, being true to herself and letting her know, I support you. I don't care what the people say. It don't matter. But we always have that about us. You just carry that with you wherever you go. It'll follow you.
Love what you're doing there and like standing up for causes that you believe in and having that energy there. And that's kind of what makes stuff happen. Like, you really can't create change or really start something new and fresh if you're not really willing to have that passion, that energy there, which is awesome. But the NFT stuff, I mean, I really need you to go into that a little more, because that is such an exploding market. People just don't understand anything about. And if you could please let us know like what you're doing there, and maybe if you said 2 weeks ago you're the first to do it, and then Facebook now is coming in with the whole metaverse thing, and everyone now is kind of paying attention. But please tell us like what's happening there.
First, I gotta say too, another reason, we have a great team with Young DNA. So the team that we have in place too, they all have that same mindset, and they're all at any event we have, we're all here. So it's a great, it's not just an individual thing here. Z is the face of the brand. Obviously, people know him. There's a team behind it that brings that. And as far as the NFT, like the same thing, man. We had a great team. I had a super team for that. We really got blessed to be able to work with the team at Facings, House of Kiba, the artists, Conda, Sir Charles Media, Electronic Token. Man, it was the team that was put together. I couldn't even begin to say how lucky we were to have that team. And building that whole project, that community that we're starting, because it's our first one. We're new to it. We're not acting like we're, Bored Apes. We know what's going on. Bored Apes, one of the big NFTs. We're just learning. We want to start our community, getting into this, build it. And as you've seen recently, Facebook just dropped the metaverse, which is like put on some goggles and you use somewhere else and it's going to be a thing. So you with it or not, it's coming. So, and we had a chance to capitalize on putting our brand there before it starts. People are starting in there. So once it's a thing, people go, oh yeah, they've been doing this. That was that's a big opportunity for our brand to jump into that. And I think that utility for owning the NFT, because if you get if you buy the NFT on the Wax Atomic platform, they're rare. You have to get the ones that are metaverse wearables, and it shows up on the card. You open the pack. It doesn't come in every pack. You got to buy some packs. I bought a few packs. I didn't get the rare ones, but I'm gonna leave some packs for other people to buy. They are limited edition, and once you get them, you open them, you store them in your wallet, and once the metaverse becomes a thing, you'll be able to utilize those. And just being a part of the NFT community itself, like you said, it's such a new exploding place. It's a special place. You meet some interesting people through social media. You ain't meeting them in person. I believe coming up, there's a big NFT event in New York So that's going to change. That's going to start, like, NFT communities are going to start meeting in person often. That's something we plan to do as well. But to be a part of that, you have to be the owner of the NFT for whatever it is, the community that you're trying to join. That's like collecting those things. Oh, I'm this member because I have this piece. It's rare. You got to support. You got to really be involved to get certain things. So that will bring the value of holding it to an NFT holder. I was like, yeah, that's why I want NFT Young DNA. You have to be a holder of their NFT to attend this event. And we're at the event. We're giving away merch. Or we have like limited edition merch available for sale. You get to meet people, picture opportunities, whatever. The opportunities are endless. And, we're just getting our foot in the door. We got a great team for our NFT, Young DNA NFT advisory. We got a great team of people that we know that are into the NFT world for real, that know what's going on and are connected and have our best interests in mind. So I'm really excited about where that's going to take the brand.
I looked up that NFT event in New York City and tickets are sold out completely. I had no idea that was going on. I wish I had jumped on that sooner because that's going to be something special. I mean, all these things, like you said, the opportunities are endless. Where do you see this stuff coming in the next, I'm tempted to say, like everyone says like 1, 3, 5 years. How about like in 6 months? Like what's happening like right around the corner? What's coming soon?
Well, people have those Oculus. Those are available. Technology and Facebook. Who knows? You could be looking at average I would say at least like some spectacles, some glasses, where you're looking at something. And with the implementation of augmented reality, they're putting up 5G everywhere. That's what it's for. So all these devices are be able to connect, going to be able to connect to your device that's going to show you that stuff. But, I don't have a timeline. I couldn't say, man. I'm just speculating like the next person.
It's crazy to think like how much has happened last, what is like 1, 2, 3 years. Just right now I was thinking about the NFT space and how like maybe different that is from what your start was, right? With the travel teams and all this basketball stuff. Like to think about Wade Elite, like way back when, and it's not really that way back when. I'm saying way back and it's like a couple of years. But like, how did that maybe let's go back to that start of it, just even though we've already gone through so much that's happened recently, and maybe how that really shaped up what you're doing now.
So Wade Elite, that was the start. I'll say like 2012, when my little brother Zaire pretty much joined up. Zaire was looking for a team. He had just moved to South Florida from Chicago, living in Chicago. And then they were looking for a travel team. I had played for Each One Teach One. That's how they met my dad, through coaching me. I was playing, so I didn't know what was going on. All I knew is ended up coaching. I was like, dang, we got a travel team. Wade Lee, D-Wade son? And nephew, Dada, he was on the team too. He needed a team. Started from there. Those guys, brothers, gang for life. The boys are connected still to this day. And that Wade Elite, you can go on YouTube and look up Wade Elite episodes. I made 2. There's some highlights from those boys. All those boys, Tim, they're all playing college basketball. Emmanuel, Big Emmanuel, Steven, and Z is in G League, my bad. But the rest of them playing college basketball. And that was a real special time. But yeah, I wish I was able to document more of the Wade Elite like I did on those episodes. But you really get to you get the whole gist of it if you're able to watch that on YouTube.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna have to go check that out because it seems like that's the energy that feels like it's the start of something that completely changed up what you're doing now, and definitely like that. Those things just excite me like you wouldn't believe. But thinking about maybe some of the Westlake guys that really you name dropped a few of them at the beginning, but I know there's such a long list of guys that are at that next level that are killing it. They maybe weren't playing 2K with you a few minutes ago, but they're already out there and they're doing their thing. Who are some of those guys?
So we're gonna start with the Wade Elite OGs, the original. Big Emmanuel, he's at Columbia University. Emmanuel Mama. You got
right off the blog for me. I have to check him out.
Yeah, you gotta check him out. Yeah, for sure. He's in his junior year now. He's up there. Let's see. Big G, Gertautis, or I can't even pronounce his name. He was up there at North Dakota, but he transferred. He transferred to a school in another school. I'm not sure what he was at. Let's see who else was on that team. Then we got Big Josh, who was at Westlake as well, who went to Thiel. Seven, who was at Westlake as well. He came late on the Wade Elite team. He went to St. Thomas. Now he's at a JUCO in Portland. G, Wade Elite guy from the beginning, was at Westlake as well. He's at Thiel. Scottie Pippen Jr. was on that team about basketball.
How'd you forget that?
3 or 4 tournaments because he was there for like 3 or 4 tournaments.
Yeah.
I wasn't around much. I was only there for like a few. I only got to see him play like once or twice. Now, Zaire, Emmanuel, Scotty in the backcourt. Those 3 guards, they would have been able to stay together in South Florida. Well, they all ended up doing very well where they went, but that was something special. For 1 or 2 times I got to see that. He's at Vanderbilt getting ready to go off to the league after this year. Let's see who else off that team. Steven Salvi, Evangel. He played at Westlake as well. Let me pull up the list. It's a whole list of guys, man. I should know this off the top of my head, but there's so many guys now. Okay, here we go. Cyrus Buck, he is a Wade Elite guy that went to Westlake. He is going to transfer to UVI at the semester break. He was at Thiel first, but some stuff happened. He had to go over to the next school. Jaron Johnson, he is a Wade Elite guy. He went to Westlake for post-grad. He is at UVI right now. Kid named Youssef Basa-Ama. We brought him over from Ghana, and he was a Wade Elite guy and a Westlake guy. And then he finished up at St. Andrew's School, and now he's at Yale playing. This will be his first year because of the COVID. Dada, he was Wade Elite. Then he came to Westlake for post-grad. He was out there on that Sierra Canyon team that was like a movie, Superstars. You can check them out on Amazon. There's a TV show about them. He's at Clark Atlanta now. Kid named Lyndon Paul. Lyndon, he was a Westlake Prep post-grad guy, and now he's in JUCO in Riverside in California, Riverside College. And most recently, Jamari Williams. Now these guys, when we stopped Wade Elite, we started Each One Teach One South again. That was not the EYBL team, but the next one. And we had a couple guys from that group who also went to Westlake. Jamari Williams, who's at University of Virgin Islands. Jamal Norris, a Westlake post-grad guy. Jamari was a Westlake high school and a Westlake post-grad guy as well before he went off to UVI. Jamal was a Westlake post-grad guy, Jamal Norris. He had a 50-point game for us last year. Lit it up. Never seen anything like it. He's got a shot release like Ray Allen. As he gets older and stronger, he's going to figure it out. He's going to be a problem. I think he had, 18 yesterday in his first college game? That's what he does, get buckets. Big Ray Enrique, 6'11" kid. He's down at Tallahassee Community College. He came to Westlake post-grad. Caleb Gordon, he came to Westlake post-grad last year. He is now at Evangel with Steven Salvi. They just played. He had his first game. He had 13 his first game, or was it 18? Might have been 18. I know he was in the leading scorers. Aloysius Kelly, he's at Morris College in South Carolina. Ben Morebi, he is a Westlake post-grad guy as well. He's at William Penn. It's like one of the top NAIA schools in the country right now. I don't know if he's playing, but he's on the team. And Matt Ansa, he's an honorary Westlake guy. He never attended Westlake, but I trained him since when he came to South Florida. He was with me like 4 or 5 days a week from the start, locked in, like 6 in the morning, didn't matter. He was locked in. He outside, inside, he was coming. He would play for our post-grad when he could. He is at Assumption University as a freshman now. He was the most recent. And so, yeah, that's a breakdown of all the guys from Wade Elite, which transitioned into Westlake that are all off to school right now, man. I just want to say shout out to those guys. Proud of them. Excited watching them. Stay locked in.
Man, that is the longest shout out in the history of Gen Z Hoops, if not most shout outs of all time. But I love it because I'm going to go after this episode and Google all these guys and see what they're up to and follow them and make sure I'm keeping up, because it sounds like these guys all play are coming from a great program. They all are coming from a family. Definitely are good high caliber people that play the game the right way. And what you're doing is incredible, both on whether it's the NFT side, which is just super innovative and stuff, which is awesome, or looking at it from just the straight up coaching side that I've spoken to so many coaches, but you're someone that's young, that's doing it in a unique way, putting their own spin on it. And it's honestly so much fun having you on and getting to talk about that. So really appreciate you coming on, Coach Jalen, and we'll definitely be talking soon.
Appreciate you, man. Shout out Gen Z Hoop, man. We locked in.
Thanks for listening to Gen Z Hoops. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe on Instagram, LinkedIn, and all major social media platforms at Gen Z Hoops. You can tune in and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and every other podcast platform on the planet. Get ready for the next episode.